Let's go. We are here. We are live. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas. Hope you enjoyed your holiday break, or hope you're enjoying your holiday break. But there's no breaks here. We ain't stopping. Little break-even sell here. I was under the impression we're gonna fill the gap here earlier, but I also understand that there's a shitload of people looking for that fill, and the market can push up for more orders. So at around 22 here, I went break even. Well, this wick, once we started right there, tap that previous area, right? Previous resistance turned to support. I went break even, but TP was a little lower right here. I think it was at this wick, something like that. Oh, it was right here. It was at the gap price, and we never got there. So a little break even trade. That's what you see over here. Welcome. Give me a sec. This is really interesting. I want to see how we close. We might close with no top wick. Nice level here, 1530. But I believe it's the same level. Let's see. Yep, same level. The hourly's a bit lower, right there. It's a little tough here because of that big gap up. I'm not sure how much volume there is, right? If we were bullish and we're coming back to this, I'm sorry, if we were bearish and we're coming back to this level, I really wouldn't mind taking that wick off here, just like here, right? You were bullish, you're coming back to this level. That wick kind of played out perfectly here. But we're very bullish, so I think if we're making higher highs, higher lows, chance this breaks these highs. If it holds, I mean, we'll see indications of it, and maybe we'll look for some opportunity. But first things first, and that is we would want a closure with no top wick here in about 9 minutes. That would be amazing. Let's see. Only bullish volume, right? Straight since we opened. Kind of pulled back to support here. Pretty decent celery play here, if anyone was on here. I believe I had a level there. I was a bit skeptical. Yeah. It's a level here, but it's really minor. Stepped away. I didn't see this. Yeah, I stepped away after we didn't break down here, but look, you had a pretty decent celery play. This was nice. Anyone that took this, that it held 15, the 30 celery, the 1 hour, I had a closure above the 1 hour level, bottom wick, nice rebreak highs, pretty textbook here on that celery play right there. Nice. Not sure if anyone took that. Very good position if you were on. It was 6:30. Yeah, I stepped away. I was here for market open. I saw this top wick. I saw the bearish flip. Once we hit BE, I walked away. I didn't see this. This is nice. That's actually, whoever took advantage of that, that's very textbook. It's an absolutely textbook position. Hold on a second. All right, 7 minutes here. Let's wait. Let's do a little intro, and I'll be right back.
This is a story about life, about struggle, about success. Not just mine, but yours too. Because whether you see it now or not, we're all trading something every single day. Time, energy, choices. That's life. That's trading. I wasn't always here. I wasn't always the guy you see on your screen. I started out just like most people, uncertain, broke, doubting the system, doubting myself. But one thing kept me going, the belief that life's biggest opportunities aren't given, they're taken, and I took mine. See, trading isn't just about charts, candles, or currencies. It's about discipline, patience, and the courage to bet on yourself. It's about understanding that every loss is a lesson and every win is a stepping stone. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the early mornings, and that voice in your head telling you to keep going when the rest of the world says stop. But let me tell you something. This journey didn't start with success. It started with failure. More failures than I can count. I remember sitting in front of my screen, watching the markets eat me alive, thinking maybe this isn't for me. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about the markets. It was about me. My mindset, my choices, my willingness to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The truth is, trading is a mirror. It shows you who you really are. It forces you to face your fears, your doubts, and your limits. But it also shows you your potential if you're brave enough to see it. I'm here now because I refuse to quit, because I learned to see every loss as a stepping stone, every setback as a setup for a comeback, and if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. Success isn't about getting it right all the time. It's about staying in the game long enough to win. This isn't just a stream. This is a movement. A space where we don't just talk about markets. We talk about life, about growth, about becoming the best version of yourself, not just as a trader, but as a person. Because the truth is, the charts don't care about you, but this community does. I do. And together, we're gonna rise. So, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and get ready. This is where traders are made. This is where dreams are built. And this is where your story begins. Let's get it.
If we close like this, and we are able to tap 45.50 and re-break lows on the next candle, I'll look for a sell. Obviously, it's bullish. Obviously, we've pushed up here. Obviously, it's bullish on every time frame. But I'm not looking to play. I mean, if it decides to reject here and come down, it's just going to be a massive runner. I'm looking to play the bottom wick of the next candle. That's really it here. Strong level. And this is an all-time high level that we've rejected before. And I know we broke out to the downside here to finally fill this range and this range, but this is decision-making area. This is where the market makes a decision. Oh, hold on, where's our music? Bring that back here. Let's turn down SPN. Welcome, come on in. Drop a like, sub to the channel. Let's really have a good stream here. Look at that, it's actually, we saw the bounce. 3 minutes for this closure. Not bad. For the stops. 90. Yeah, lock in, and then we'll talk about our Christmas break and all that stuff. Pancake is a little tough here. Well, you know what? The daily did close bearish. But as you're pushing up here with that big gap, right? That's a lot of volume. Higher highs, higher lows. You're expecting to make a higher high here on the day. Interesting. Look at that. Previous 30, no top wick. You probably made it. I think we made a top wick here, came down and pushed up. That's what happened. Yeah. 8 p.m. is also very unpredictable in terms of volume because volume comes in heavy, but is this going to be volume that breaks us through here? Really curious how we open. $90 seconds. Closing partials when the top of the range gets hit, then stepping away. Okay. That's... I hate how MetaTrader, you can't move the chart around like you can everything else. Trading, it's like... I want to see if we respect the hourly level, because if that's the case here in 50 seconds, we might have a sell off this area. Really depends how we close, how we open up. Yeah, pushing up above it, but no top wick. Hold on, gang. This is scary. It could blast up here heavy. Break highs and then push down. Scary level, scary level, scary level. What's the stop? I wanted to break all the highs, then push back in range. That would be amazing. That would be something we can work with. Give me bottom wick, re-break highs, we'll have a sell stop. I think that's what we can do. I don't like the fact that we closed above and we've made this top wick. So what could happen here is the same thing that happened on this 30. We've closed, we made a top wick, pushed down for a bottom wick, and then re-broke highs. Right, so now that you've pushed down for this bottom wick, you can re-break highs. So I'm gonna be very, very skeptical of this here. If it comes down, great. I mean, we should set up on a next candle, but I think there's a chance we break all these highs, grab orders, and then drive. And if that's the case, right, it's just not worth it because you know you're trading against your bias here. New all-time highs. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's a chance this breaks back into range. If we start pushing to all-time highs, we want to break, retest, close, get some support, right? But I'd obviously love to trade this down. Gap is interesting. Like we're going to see a quick pump. Straight to the upside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Come on. Take what I'm drawing with a grain of salt here. Because it's all arbitrary, all-time highs. Yeah, you guys are about to be witnesses. Who's ready to be witnesses? You are all witnesses here right now. Can we break it? Can we break it? Yeah, all-time highs, really arbitrary. I'm going to be a little extra patient on this because, like I said, if it comes back down in range, we'll take it. We'll hop on afterwards. We don't need to be a sniper against the bias. I'd love to, but I don't think this is this ain't the setup. This ain't it, Chief. history at the dinner table. Oh, we almost got there. Look at that. We were, how much? 15 pips away? 11 pips away from making history. Like that LeBron poster back in the day in Cleveland when he was like this. You're all witnesses. The open gap is crazy. Yeah. Man, I was hoping to fill it on this flip. I saw 20 pips, went break even, and then you can't not secure right here. What do I say, right? If you're up 20 pips and you let the shit come back into negative, you're an asshole. And we're all, it's not like, oh, that's it. Nah, you're a shitty trader. No, you're just an asshole. Like that moment, you were an asshole. But we're all human, right? I can be an asshole sometimes. Look at that. It didn't break. Did not break. What are you trying to tell me right now, Kendall? Mr. Kendall. It's ticks, not pips in futures. Yeah, it's also contracts, not lots, right? But, you know, we're creatures of habit. And coming from that side of things, just habits talking. Your Project X is frozen. Let it go. Let it go. You can't trade it anymore. Already knew you was coming from Forex. Nah, we're a medium, bro. Lost a lot of weight. Damn, there's our candle right here. We just printed you. And back we go. Nope. Push another 600 pips. Was off on that count. What was that?
Where's all this volume coming from?
Santa. Merry Christmas, bro. It's
insane,
Santa.
Dude.
Nothing. I mean, think about it. The market was closed for over a day. Or for a day, right? There was no trading. There was a lot of volume. Right? A lot of orders have piled up. Yeah, they call this the Santa rally. Yeah, I'm very skeptical of anything that happens here. Previous candle has closed here with no top wick, and that wasn't just the 30, that was the hourly. It's closed in this area, right? It did close above, I guess you could say, but within these wicks, I don't know, no top wick. I don't know how much bullish volume there is, but based on our knowledge of candles, this candle should flip at some point. If it doesn't and it closes, that's the off chance. We'll see if we can get some kind of support formed back here at the previous highs, and we'll play like a break and retest. Ideally, we could get a bottom wick on this candle. A bottom wick on this current candle, on this current hourly, forces price down here and attempts to come back down in range. And if it fails, and we still get these closures above, and now we don't have to expect that bottom wick at some point based on the fact that this one closed no top wick, right? So you'd expect top wick here, come down. But if it comes down and does that and still closes above, and we're somewhere over here on the smaller time frame, that bottom wick will just right, it'll probably look like a 15 fake out, right, as you come down here, or like a 30 fake out. We'll get something like this, right, like that. And then closure back up in range, right? And at that point, right, the hourly here gets this bottom wick, but yet you still close above, looking like this, right? Now you have a wick to fill in terms of an advantage point. You've retested, right? You've attempted to come down and failed. Now you're able to also close above. If you're able to tap these areas where you're, you know, where the market has previously been a resistance, or that you needed a closure above, and start pulling up, I'm like, we're going to be filling this wick and we're going to be looking to push higher. But at that point, it'll be house money. And, you know, that's all she wrote. For now, we want this hourly bearish flip. And it's coming down right now. We want it because that's just what the technicals say. So we want price to follow technicals. When it doesn't do that, that's when you're like, something's off. But the technicals here say no range. This candle either needs to create it, right? And then re-break highs or come back down in range and stay there because this one printed no range. But this isn't the trade candle to push up, right? This isn't the candle you take buys on. Yo, I've fasted today. I have not eaten a single. I've only drank water today. I've not had a bite. Oh, I had a bite of a Dubai chocolate. I'm sorry. Somebody had a Dubai chocolate and I had to try it. I'm starving, Marvin, but I'm trying not to think about it. Now I'm thinking about it. Damn. The things I would do to food right now. Yeah, I would definitely get some. Get some of that hot gravy. Rub it all over my. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what you guys are thinking. I love meatloaf. I love meatloaf. It's just delicious. I wish they still had a Boston Market near me. I grew up on Boston Market. Rub it all over my meatloaf and get the mashed potatoes. You guys are somewhere in a different world right now. I'm just telling you. Boston Market smacked. I got you with a plate of gun bees for if I say a baked chicken Jamaican style. I'll take that shit right now. Diddy activities? No.
Diddy activities.
I don't know where your heads are at. There we go. There's that bearish flip we were talking about. Like, here's the deal. If we can, typically how this would work, you'd want this bottom wick, an attempt up, right? And the way you take the sell is an attempt to re-break the highs here. But this candle has just rebroken that. And if it re-breaks highs and then we break lows, we could take that. But the fastest thing that's going to happen, the next possible position is either we close below the range here, and it can't be just, 15 close. You're going to need a 30 and an hourly. It's multiple time frames to close below. And we're going to probably want to take a wick entry after a strong bearish closure on this candle. Right, so we probably want to see confirmation that if we're going to look for sells right now, this can still, remember I said re-break the lows, come back up, close above, and then you're good to go. This is an attempt to come back down in range. But if it also stays down in range, this is the other scenario. We get something like this. Next candle, when it opens up, if this is the opening, we're looking for sells right off wherever this wick is, right there. That wick for that candle, that's going to be our position. Now you have to realize it could tap this area and come down, but if we're trying to really snipe it and mitigate risk, I'm going to trust it to come back to the resistance it just made before driving and fill in the range. If it doesn't, I mean, this will be in good position at an entry here to manage risk versus an entry here to manage risk. Right? Because at this point, we'll see the candle start wanting to close above here and all of that. Stops, I'm looking over here to the left. I'm not really expecting to push the envelope here. This is strictly if we get this heavy push down here right now and we're able to close strong bearish, right? We need like another 50, 60 pip push. That would be great. Just to create this bottom wick, create that range, right? Push up and hold this resistance eventually. This is what we want. This level stops. This is what we want. That heavy closure, this top wick right here. Okay? That's what we want. Capiche?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
There's a big delay over there. Brazil here. Hey, Brazil. Are you willing? Are you finna? That's the what you call it? That's the hip way, right? That's the modern way. That's what all the youth be saying. You finna? Finna do this, finna do that. You smoke? No, definitely not. It's a major crutch. Definitely not. Definitely not. Just big distraction. Nobody gonna say nothing? Oh my god. I like these little emotes you guys use to comment on YouTube. Definitely not now. All right, it looks like it's pushing back down in range. Let's see. Let's see if we get this position here. Said I'm not a rat. I like how everyone kept it quiet and, no one really tried to explain it. Yeah, just gotta go up here for a little while. 15 closed, right? But be careful here. Look with the area you've tapped, right? There's a support here of sorts. There's a level there, or it used to be. We've cleared it out a couple of times, so these orders aren't. This is a minor level, but your 30 still open, your hourly still open, and this could definitely reflip bullish after creating this range. So this candle shouldn't be the one that drives down. It could be depending on volume, but typically this candle will play around here and create this range because you're so heavily bullish. So on a smaller time frame, right? What a lot of people do is there's an immediate flip. Yeah, maybe this is a strong level for it to immediately flip. Look what's happening. The hourly might flip bullish here. Right, so are we flipping bullish, or are we going to form a top wick with this 15? At this point, it's more of a 50-50, maybe a 60-40, but it's not worth taking this sell off this area that I just mentioned, although there's a likelihood it comes down, right? Because it's only one time frame. The 30, the hourly can all flip, and it's against your bias. You really want that to be with bias, right? With direction. So typically, this candle, what it does, it fakes a lot of people. The market's not faking out, but it fakes out a lot of traders because it'll give you this flip, right? It'll give you that bearish flip, but it won't drive, and then you kind of end up looking like this on this candle. You got a top wick. You have a 15 forming a range, 30 closing below. Now you just need the hourly to start falling in line, and eventually that will happen here as you start getting these closures. So yeah, you might not get in all the way up here, especially if you start retesting these areas right now, right? Like this candle is. So you might already clear these orders out if it does all of this that we're printing. But your higher probability trade would be on that closure. You see it flipped, came right back up. I don't know. Let's see if this drives. Looks like there's a lot of volume, but I do see a level here across the board. And I'm skeptical of this just pushing down. I'm going to wait for this to print, have a 30 as well, and then I'll get in it. And yeah, if it pushes, you just got to be okay with it pushing down. Look at that. Rebroke the lows. Like this isn't, you don't want to be stuck now in what? No, in drawdown. 30 pips, 40 pips. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let it print. Let it form this little range here, and we'll act on the higher time frame closure. And if it pushes back down, yeah, we'll look for support here. If it doesn't, if it pushes back down in range, we'll look for this gap fill. Had my level 45.40. Oh, buys? Yeah. 45, 39.7. Maybe off the 5, you had it there. Damn, this will suck if it rebreaks the highs, because you know, like this is where people this is exactly what I was just talking about. People get faked out here, right? This will break the lows, and then because the higher time frame hasn't lined up yet, it'll re-break highs, and maybe it does come down, but this is people will typically put their stop on the break of this candle, and then it grabs more orders, right, to the level, and then it goes, and you're like, oh damn. Let's see, re-breaking the lows. Ah, oh. Not. Another attempt. See? Somebody in there right now talking about, come on, man, come on, please, god damn, just go now. And if you are, I mean, like, you're not behind, but you're not ahead. It's tough. It's a tough area to play sells at. Like, and you can look, see, we were talking about this too, right? This can push up, re-break highs, and back in range just because you're making higher highs, higher lows. Well, whoops, sorry. Right over here, remember we were talking about making higher highs, higher lows. When you're coming down to the support with the market going bullish, like if you look at the 4 hour, look at that, perfectly off that level, higher highs, higher lows. Now it's very tough to take that same level because you're printing higher highs, higher lows. You weren't bearish here. So yeah, I do think we eventually come up here. But short term doesn't mean we can't, you know, we can't take advantage of some sells. There's a lot of range, right? This is a 200 pip range that we're staring at. But we want, right? We were saying market doesn't turn around with one candle. It needs to get off the highway, make a U-turn. This is the market's way of making that U-turn, right? So it's gonna attempt to push up like it usually does, right? After taking all these people, this is exactly what I was just talking about. Like it will re-break it will re-break that low, get a lot of people in there because they're all selling there. It'll take out the highs. It might not break the typical highs that you would need to hold this trade, which would be over here, the top of the previous candle high, right? So if it works out, it won't break this. If it breaks this, you're in the wrong direction completely. Right, you've still this was a rejection for now back into range. But because the market's so bullish, you have to realize it's not going to turn around here on one candle. It'll create a U-turn. Then you can take advantage of it. What was that? Hold on, I'm sorry. Give me 1 sec. Weekly, daily, every single day. Live, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. We'll be live tomorrow, 8 a.m. All right, there's that retest of that area. The hourly flip bullish here for a split second. Let's see. It's decision time. I'd want to see a rebreak of these lows, right? Or not just a simple rebreak. So when this closes bullish, this kind of forms, right? That support here on the smaller time frame. Now you want a clean trade here. You don't want to trade into sell into a support. So you'd want this closure probably still respecting, right? Resistance, telling us, hey, another candle closing below resistance, bouncing off of it, not breaking that high. That happens. You want, and this is not what I think is going to happen. This is, let's build out in a narrative in what case sells would make sense, right? And that you would need these closures below the support you create. Once that happens, that's your ride down for all of this to retest next possible support to come up, right? This from here, or where these wicks top out, right? This was a clean drive over here that you'd want the market to mirror that. For now, let's see what happens. Hourly's bullish now. Oh no, still bearish, but above the range. Dang. But now it's got this long wick to fill, right? It's still above the range. Long wick to fill, so let's see. To get a reaction off the body of the can. Yes, right here, it's getting it, right? But is it just a minor reaction for the hourly to continue bullish? Because the hourly did flip bullish here. 30 did flip bullish here. You're still holding resistance, so that's a good thing. What pair? This isn't a pair. This is a gold contract. So it would be the equivalent on spot of spot gold or XAU USD in terms of if you're trading, if you're coming from the forex side, from spot price, trading a futures contract. What's the difference? It's almost the same thing. The same buy and sell buttons. Yeah, if you can read candles, you can read candles. Same buy and sell buttons. See, that's why you don't get ahead of that. It made that nice top wick here to these levels. You see, flip and went nowhere. Rebroke the lows, went nowhere. Started selling around this area on Tuesday. So you've had a wild ride, right? Or you're talking about the market, or you? Merry Christmas. Yes, I hope everybody had a really good Christmas. If you celebrated, if you don't, hope you had a great day off from the markets. You don't need a day to celebrate, you know, your family or with your family or your own. Or be merry and cheery. You don't need a reason. You can just choose to be. Damn, I should take my own advice sometimes. Oof.
Hey, Wicks.
Yeah.
Don't you think that since like the previous highs, right, that we just took out, those are like previous Asia highs? They're just previous session highs in general. Like basically that huge rejection, right? That's all stop losses getting hit.
Or
Like
this right here.
Yeah, those are people getting taken out of their original
Or it's
position.
people that have buy stops over here on the break of the all-time highs.
Gotcha. I'm just thinking like in basis of like liquidity. Like, why are we having such a large reaction with that candle from that level?
I don't think you need to know why. I don't think it matters why. No matter what happens in the world, you can't explain every move. You're going to go down a really deep rabbit hole trying to explain every single, why did this happen? Why did we just react? If you don't need to know what happens fundamentally, because it's all going to be printed here. It's good to know. You can. It's very good. You know, it's confirmations. It's extra confluences, but it can tell you where the market's going, but when, that's going to be told on the charts here. The charts are going to tell you when it's going, and you're going to have to read it anyway. So no matter if you understood why it did that or not, it wouldn't help your profitability. Like you need to choose the when.
I guess I wasn't saying fundamentally. I was just saying from a technical standpoint, just looking at the charts, because fundamentally we don't really have anything to go off
It's grabbed a shitload amount of orders, but like I said, everything to the left here is arbitrary. We have no idea what levels are to the left here, what orders are. Maybe, I mean, if you book map or whatever that's called, I don't know if it tells you what the orders here are, but there's a few people in here that do that actually. But it's just, I don't know. It's arbitrary. Whatever the reason is for that rejection, I can see it happen and act upon it, right? And I've seen this candle flip, break lows, not drive after this such rejection. That's why I kind of wait for multiple time frames to align here instead of just taking the rebreak of the lows. My ideal entry would be here up at the highs right here after that pushback in range. But again, that pushback in range only happened on the 15, while the 30 is still open, right? While the hourly is still open. And it would be amazing if this 1 hour can do this, right? Because I would expect the next hourly to grab a bottom wick, even if we come up. So either we're going to come down and get our top wick entry probably on the next hour after letting this candle come back up, or, right? Or we're going to get a closure below here, below this area where we are right now. If it drives down now, we might look for the candles to establish a support here. But if you could see what happened last time, we didn't hold this level when we came down. It blew straight through that previous, blew straight through this previous resistance that was a support. So I think if we start coming down to here after retesting the highs, which would be ideal, if we start coming down to here, there's a high likelihood we can just drop straight through.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for.
It would be amazing because we'd want to pull away from all-time highs. Right, that was the 30. So the hourly is going to have another chance to flip bullish, and that's what scares me, right? The 4 hours already grabbed all these orders above the highs. It doesn't scare me if it, if it moves within here. What's not pleasant is the fact that the hourly can still reflip and still close above the range. And we are holding this level to the left. The 30 did hold it, right? Over here.
Well, now that we're really not seeing much of a bottom wick, if price comes back up again.
Yeah, but now here's the deal.
Make that bottom wick.
Now we've kind of grabbed orders here. We've closed below this minor level, but I think if we start coming up here, there's a chance the hourly starts flipping bullish and closing above. I've seen that happen plenty of times. So in this case, I would either wait on this candle to actually close bearish on the hourly, or I'm going to wait for the smaller time frames to close below this smaller time frame support. If we can close below that level that we just closed at, I will look for some sells. Otherwise, I'm going to expect this to re-break highs and flip the hourly bullish and close above the range, which would completely suck for anyone that's looking for this top wick entry. I think if that was the case, you probably would have been in here on the 15 for that top wick entry. There's no confluence here. There's nothing else telling you that. Like, take your trade to court, right? If you can be a prosecutor and you take your trade to court, can you beyond a reasonable doubt convince, if you were on the jury, convince yourself that, hey, this is what's happening. This is, in this trade, this is how it's got to go, right? Take your trade to court and bring all the evidence. And, when I show this and like, the jurors are going to see this, they're going to be like, man, but there's history of this. And we're doing technical analysis. And historically, if that's what it's done here, why would we expect anything different? Let's just Yes, on some, it doesn't always do this, but there's precedent. But there's precedent here in the charts and the markets. Let's act accordingly. Put a W on buys on BTC. You guys, people are in sells, people are in buys. Yeah, you don't need to know every move, Terpy, exactly. You just need to know your move. Door. Oh. It has not, the last few days, like this chop sucked. It has not printed amazing here. If you look, and the thing is, we've been stuck in a higher time. This isn't like a 15 chop, right? Look at this. We've been driving on the higher time frames, and then all of a sudden this higher time frame chop. It sucks because, right, the 15 you can take. All right, you'll break out a few hours throughout the day. I mean, you'll get your chances, but the higher time frame is just all right, man. Days and days. I want a clear sense of direction. But nothing you can't get through. Yeah. What is this? Watching the stream in mixed reality? What is that? What is that? PSVR or like what? No, Oculus? That's wild. Ready Player One, bro. Meta 3? You watching me on Meta 3 right now? How big is the screen?
Yeah, like I'm so tempted to take sales right now, but it's just like you said, worried about that hourly.
That hourly can flip. Don't get ahead of it. This is one of those times. Remember, you get in a trade and then like it sets up 15 minutes later or like 2 candles later, and you're like, wow, damn! If I just waited, it'd be perfect, right? But hey, but you have to be okay. You have to make peace with the fact, hey, right? We're rejecting. We can come down here. You can miss the entire fucking thing. You can miss the whole drop. Be okay with it, because like at that point, like is that really your trade? Because right, if it comes down, that's not the trade you planned for. So it's the same noise that market's making right now when it's when you're not looking for the trade, or when it was here or whatever it was. Like it was making noise. It wasn't your job's tune out the noise. It wasn't your position. So the same thing. If it just drives down here, that's not. You have to know that in these situations, you're going to act a certain way. So it's either this is your setup and your position here every time, or like you can't pick a job next time. I don't know this time. Like it's either a position every time, or it's something that you just don't do, and it's noise. You know what I mean? And I just, and for me in this case, it's just noise. I don't really pay attention to this. And if it drives down, I mean, let it. That wasn't my position. That's not what I planned on. Right? I'd kind of want this closure right here. You see that? You kind of respect it here. Then you got that closure below the range. That first one. Seller replay down, break of the lows. Textbook. The same way as you had this seller replay right here. Textbook. Right there, closure above the range. Needed that. Attempted to drive down back in range. Failed. Closed still above. So you had a resistance formed above the range, your initial resistance. You still held this support, and the drive came off of support without breaking previous candle lows, breaking the highs, filling the range. So it's just kind of textbook. When I say textbook, I don't mean there's a textbook on this. I mean, to us, this is just standard.
Intuition.
I mean, no, it's just knowledge guided by experience. We've seen this before. Intuition is something that you've experienced. You can't, if you just feel something that's gonna happen, but you've never experienced it, then it's not you. Then you're a fucking wizard. I don't know. Got to be based on something. So maybe intuition is not the right word. Maybe it is. I don't know. This is more, I would say, experience than intuition.
The ability to understand something immediately without the need of conscious reasoning. It's likely from instinctive feeling.
Maybe when I'm building an edge or looking for an opportunity where to even start with building an edge, maybe that can be intuitive. I think as you start building your edge, it's more, just the more experience, the better, the more you optimize it. No buy, no sell. Yeah, just wait. It's kind of been the case here the last few sessions. Not because I don't want to, just like there's, gonna be, very, very principled about your trading. And like I said, I don't consider this a major level here or anything, but there, and we want a closure below it. We just confirmed that it's there with the previous few candles. 5 minutes here on this 15, and then we get into the last 15 of the hourly, right? So can this close above like it is right now? 9:45, and then the last 15, as we just said, last 15 of the hourly close below, and then we can look for top wick entries on the next one. You see, very similar to this. Right here. Up with this spit song, I hate this. Who was like, I'm gonna make a song, hit record. Damn, I need a sound in here. Brilliant. And his homie was probably right next to him. I was like, bro, you're a fucking legend. Don't you wear a hearing aid? Yeah, that was sick. Spit again. Hey bro, I'm Indian. Hey bro, I'm Indian. Please draw a line how to relax next goal. Well, very, very good question, my friend. We are... Yeah, I said it. We are... I don't know what you being Indian has anything to do with me showing you how to draw. Like, you don't have to start with that. I don't need to know you're Indian, right? Your name kind of does that for you, bro. I wasn't gonna ask you to confirm. Like, if you asked me, how to draw the line so gold, so I can see how gold reacts, I wasn't gonna be like, but are you Indian? Are you really? Because if you're not, I'm not gonna tell you. You're just chilling here. Welcome to the group. We love everybody. You're off white. We're all off white. Yeah, it's a new race. We're still gaining members. Sign up. We're gonna win. Yeah, if you're sick and tired of your own race, hey, join the off whites. You can't miss. Unless you're albino, because then, like, sorry, bro. Can't have you. Gonna be questions. All right, 3 minutes. 3 minutes for this 15. 30's flipping. Oh, will this push? We're gonna wait 3 minutes. I'm probably gonna wait the hourly, but we'll see. Yeah, you need a closure below this area. And if it fills the range, go with it.
Holy shit.
Wow. Coming down? Our entry would have been good, top wick.
Damn. Oh, damn.
How much is that? That top wick never gets to my entry here. That 15 did, that previous 15. I never take it there, but this never gets to my entry here. Gonna be an interesting closure here. We got a no bottom wick.
Oh, do you get your live account?
Yeah, this is the live one. Oh, we tapped it on the dot here, man. Lovely. Options is in this right now. What I wanted to talk about a second ago. There's times I take this, times I don't. And when I take this is if, let's say right here, when we came down before this drop, if I saw this, we take it. Oh, whoops, sorry. We take it off that level, but because this confirms a previous reaction in the market at that area, and it gives us a stop here. We have a stop here over here, but it's not there, right? Price just blows straight through it, so there's a reason to avoid a limit. Just close for 30 pips. Took 30 on that. That's it. Like a 200 pip range, bro. What are you doing? Rejection off the order block. Yeah, I don't know what an order block is, but I can understand kind of by what it sounds like, right? So
it's like a supply zone.
Yeah, basically. So
resistance.
You did tap a supply zone, right? It's smaller time frame, 30. It's actually you can say an hourly level because the hourly's closed there and open there. Yeah, and a lot of times we will have a position off that area, but like I said, I would have had to see this reaction happen here previously. So typically, when you see that reaction, you get a nice stop, you get like everything aligns. And yeah, a lot of times we'll have that level there, and we'll take buys off, and people will be like, "Oh, you just took a wall right off the order block." I'm just like, I don't even know, but like I see how multiple different strategies all kind of tell you the same thing. Seeing the same thing in the markets, just everyone's got different names for it. I don't know how to speak English, but I see you, so I said this because it could be done and go. Yeah, just keep showing up here. I mean, keep showing up, brother. There's nothing that can be explained even in a stream, and forgetting like 5-10 minutes, even in a stream, people stay here for months at a time to really kind of fall in tune with what we're doing. There's too many lines here, though. Let's get rid of all of this. I'm not too worried about this because this wick cleared out all these orders. I don't expect this level to be there. Right? I'm really worried about the hourly level. We have 13 minutes here. Hold on, shit. Let me think. exposure is going to be key. I was eyeing a top wick sell off the next hourly, but there's a chance we can get this. There's a chance we might have a buy here beforehand just to get there. I want to see how this candle closes. Can't we get on that level? That's wild. Bless you.
Thank you.
Sure. Didn't close. Am I cooked? I love these questions. I love the am I cooked questions. Sure. Are you ultimately bearish? No, I'm very bullish. Very bullish with a hint of bear. I'm buy biased. I'm trans biased. Because the range is so big, like there's buys and sells to be had, right? It's really depending on your perspective. But on the higher time frame, yeah, I expect gold to continue pushing up and break all-time highs once we find a support. Maybe this is the area of support it finally bottoms out at, right? This is a big question here. Does this, blow through back in range? Does it establish some kind of support? But Jesus, what a reaction there, right? Like, pretty amazing. 100 on the dots. Seven minutes here. 7 minutes for this 1 hour to close. We've been so bullish that I wouldn't mind if this closes below here and then closes back up above. What's a little, sus is this gap that everyone's expecting still. I'm by ass. Okay, bro. Stop that. Trans bias, right? Yeah. What time frame's your chart? We're switching between time frames. We're kind of going between the 4 hour and the 15 here. No. How many streamed days have you not operated? I'm not sure what that means. Traded? I'd say 95% of streams have trades in them. Multiple trades, maybe 5 trades a session, 3 trades a session. There's streams we've taken 6, 7 trades. So you watched you call the breakout and then the breakdown. Just curious, what would you make a jump? If I was here for this is a really high probability trade. I'm not a big fan of trading at all-time highs because shit like this happens, right? And typically, honestly, if usually, if I was calling trades, these things set up at at a slower pace. You're getting a smaller time frame and a higher time frame confirmation. But because this is new territory, right? All-time highs the levels play out at such a fast pace on the on the 5, on the 1, and then eventually they'll play out on the 15, but they'll get established, and you'll get these 5 levels, right? You'll get the 15 levels, and then eventually the 30 will start confirming these levels. And not everything aligns. Like I like when for a lot of for things to align. Like I said, this would have been like 90% of the time this is a buy here, but 90% of the time you would see that level reflected here on that previous drop down. Even if it doesn't get a closure here, you'll at least get a reaction. I don't see that. And market has a funny tendency to mirror what it's done before, right? Otherwise, why would we do technical analysis? Because technical analysis is the study of historical price data, right? And then why would we do that if we're not going to pay attention to it? So in this case, I had to pay attention to that. The breakout here, I would have taken 100% if I was on, or if I was by the computer. This would have been a trade here, 100%. We would have closed for 66 pips right as soon as that candle closed. No top wick, I would have closed. And that's just it. The sell, needed to happen on a different time. It needed to happen on, not on the 15 here, but on the hourly, just because I've seen the hourly re-break that low, close up above. A lot of things, what also a big thing that keeps me out of this trade is this stop right here. Right, that top wick is 143 pips. So technically, if your stop is going to be logical, you're ahead probability-wise until this break. But are you willing to risk 140 pips? Some trades just not worth it. So yeah, there's like, I'm able to understand, all right, this is going to work out 90% of the time. But am I willing to lose 140 pips for that 10% of the time that it doesn't work out? Because I can be it's like settling for a position when I know we get these positions at 40, 50 pip risk, right? 70 pip risk maybe, but they're high probability setups. So I can dig that, right? I can get jiggy with that. But some things I just can't get jiggy with. Can't get jiggy with this shit. Do you consider gap fills? That thing may not happen. No, you know what I think? To me, this gap is just a clean range. To me, this is how I interpret it. When I see it in my head, I just see this. So yeah, as we start closing below support and start getting some of that closure, some of this, right? And typically, remember, when you get that closure above a heavy level, you'll probably create a range right below it, right? So you'll get something like this, right? You'll get a support form. You'll get a bounce off that previous support that can now be confirmed as resistance since you're closing below it. And then you have a very similar move, right? That happened earlier up here, right? On the 30, right? See that heavy push, break above a heavy level. It doesn't really necessarily push immediately. Yeah, eventually the hourly will look like it's supposed to look like that. But the smaller time frames will give you that advantage of when to enter, so you don't sit there through the drawdown. And yeah, once you understand that, you'll either get that closure below here or you'll get a top wick, right? It'll attempt to come back up in range and fake out. It'll fail as you start breaking these lows here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, that clean range to the left. Remember that gap? Remember that gap you just asked me about? Oh, that's gonna start to get filled. Entry, stop, TP. Sayonara. Can you disapprove a bearish trend and move? I'm not sure what you mean. Can I disapprove? I disapprove of you right now. No, I'm genuinely not confused by that. I am confused by that. Hold on, we're getting a closure here. 30 seconds. I'm confuzzling me.
But from here, we want to see this candle close. We want to come see a top wick and then enter the top of the wick and then for sells.
Hold your horses, sir. Hold on. See what it's holding here. I think the next candle is going to need a bottom wick. I just want to see where I can take that off of. Did it hold the level? Kinda did. A little lower. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take a market buy here. I'm gonna have stops down in range here. Buy. A little bit late there on the signal entry. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have stops back in range. I think this candle needs to have a top wick here. If we come down heavy into range, that's just gonna be it. But I believe we need to make a top wick here. Strong support. We bounced off of it. We need orders to break through it. This candle's going to need to make a top wick. And that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for that top wick here. As soon as it flips, I'll move stops to break even, see if I can get a little. All right, stops to break even here. Come on, push up. Don't do this to me. I think I'm gonna move this. I'm waiting for a flip. I want it to flip. I'm okay with the loss, but I want it to flip. Give to me top wick now. I'm about to scare it into pulling up.
I guess I'm just confused on why wouldn't you just wait for a top wick to be formed and then for it to head lower?
Because probability-wise, I think it's likelier to come up, make that top wick than it is then to re-break that low.
Even after that huge 1 hour candle printing red?
Oh, why did it bottom out? Why didn't it close back in range? Why did it respect this level?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the next one could potentially break that level. I guess.
But yeah, I mean, if that happens, that's just something I'll live with.
Yeah.
Okay with it breaking back into range, right? I'll have my stop. I just think on a bullish day with our bias, on a heavy, well, now it looks like the 4 hours come back in range, but I think it's going to need a lot there. If it doesn't give this top wick, which it typically does, right? If it doesn't give that top wick, I'm okay with it. The stop in this case is logical, and my narrative and reasoning for it makes sense to me. I can't take a pineapple on my account here, but I just took a pineapple on the live account, so that technically that we're like right here. That entry is a bit lower. Took a pineapple off this level. And once again, if it doesn't grab orders, like we have stops that breaks to the lows, which would be now the candle filling that gap, that clean range, right? So your stops would be illogical or not make sense after that. There was for this candle to react there, right? We have precedent now that it's that this was a level it held. So I would expect more orders to be grabbed than it already did in order to drive further. Is that a guarantee? No, it's not 100%, but that's just typically what I would expect. Options, you in here? We might have gotten ahead of it just for this entry. I really thought we're gonna come off these top wicks here. Yeah, we might have had a better, better time if we were in off here, because then you're break even here at 20 some pips. I thought we were coming off these top wicks, the higher time frame level. If that's the case and we push through here, then you know where you close. Signals on our profits here. All right, break even here on the signal channel. We're up about 15 pips. Don't fucking come back down here. I'm not gonna risk this re-breaking our lows. Flip now or forever hold your peace. Let's fucking go. And it can flip and come right back, because there's a level right where it flips into. So house money here at this point. You know what? I'm going to secure right there at 21 pips in the signals. For partials, we closed 3 out of the 7 lots I have running in the signals. It's going to close another 3 once it flips bullish at around 27 pips. Flip bullish. Don't come back down here. Flip bullish. And then we'll have a runner in the signal channel. But over here, there's no runner because I'm trading max lot and I can't close partials. So it's already a W. We're up about 25 pips here in the signal channel. There's the flip. The bullish flips. I'm going to start right there. It's another 24 pips. And let's, hold on. Let me move TP. If it taps our break even, we've secured nothing here. The signal channel is still running, gang. If you're in the signal channel and you got in there with me, because of that second entry, our average position came down a bit. So we're still running about 20 pips in profit right now. But I didn't get a chance to secure anything on this one because it just rebroke that low. But the signals, hey, we got a runner. Live account, we are running here. We've closed 6 out of the 7 lots that I had open on that trade. Okay. And we have 1 lot left running right now. Ooh, will this be a 100 pipper? Yo. No, pull up a little more. All right, I'm going to close full there. Sorry, gang. I think we might re-break the lows or something. Why did it stop? 35 pips. Congrats. Whoever's in the signal channel is eating. Can you guys confirm that so the stream doesn't think I'm making it up? I'm like, yeah, the signal channel's eating. We have break even here on this. This fucker made $10 today. Amazing. No, I made more. We've made $1,700 in the live account, and we've made $10 on the funded here. All right. I mean, it's not over. There's more positions that are probably going to come up here, but I can't possibly call this any kind of win on the funded, right? But big W on the live. We're still secured a W. Congrats to the signal channel. I guess it pays to be in there because you guys would have seen the second entry. Also, look, gang. I know if you're in the signal channel, you guys see pips, 10 pips and 15 pips. That's from our initial entry. Our second entry, if you look where we entered. If you guys aren't stream and wondering why didn't I take a second position at a lower level here on the funded as well as the live, is because I'm on this live account and I max out in order to trade this contract. Like I max out at 1 lot. That's at 1 contract. That's the max I could do. And that leaves me no room for additional positions. It's just win or that's why that one was set at 30 pips. On the break of the highs, and that's the first resistance. And when you have a small account, your job is to take as much off the table as you can as fast as possible, because eventually you're much likelier to secure than look for runners, right? Securing works out a lot more than runners do. So like 90 to 10. So secure as much as possible, as early as possible. And as the account gets bigger, then you can, you know, start letting trades run. But on the live account, you saw we let it run. And we were up about 45 pips. I closed at 35. Look, let me look. So that partial close or that full close, you see, excuse me, 10 pips, 15 pips. That's from initial entry. Second entry, I'll tell you right now, was but if you were paying attention here, I said it, I'm taking another sell right here in the signal channel. W. Second entry was 45. Okay, so 45.34, right? First entry. Right here. How did it do the flip? And second entry was down here at 30.9. So second entry was down here, right? So as it flipped, that was 36 pips. Right, so the second entry was 35 pips. The first entry was 15 pips. Everybody, if you're on the signal channel, and if you're new here, do you understand how to read them? Ask now. But that 15, that's a 35. You're trading a few wine cups deep. Yeah. So W. It's going to 5K. I said yesterday it's going to 30K. It's all a matter of time. Sam was way against that trade. He's like, bro. Would it have come back to break even? I think it might have, if we didn't close it full.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know why. I was just having a hard time understanding it.
But it's working out. The concept's playing out in front of you. Look at this. Look at the candle.
Yeah.
You don't need to know why it's doing it. Just it does it. I guess my understanding of it is, I'll say, as this hourly closes, yeah, I do want to sell over here. Right? But we're pushing into all-time high territory. And you know how these areas work out? When you make a, you created a double top, what people can read. All a double top is you have a level of supply, right? This is a supply level. When that gets retested and closed that and confirmed, right? It basically held here. Then it confirms the resistance. So I think, yeah, this is a supply level. But if we get that closure, that a second one, another instance in the market that does that, we are confirming a resistance. And the market, when it's driving to all-time highs, you'll notice this. If you go back, it'll push to that same resistance, retested, but then it doesn't like to go back in range. If it's going to continue pushing to all-time highs, you're going to see the support form here at the very, very at these previous, at the very nearest support areas, nearest demand areas, and it's going to start closing up above here when it gets here. If it's to drive to all-time highs again, so this will be the next decision-making area for the market. Once it comes back up there. Right now, the market, once it closes bullish, your decision's kind of been made. You're looking for that bottom wick and a drive up. Honestly, we might have a position here. Hold on. Is going to close above this 5 level. Most recent 5. No, I'm going to wait for this 30 to close here, but here's what I expect here from the next candle. I wish this was a 30. This is what I expect from the next candle, because the 15 could have faked out and the 30 would have done this, but we didn't get that. confirmation on multiple time frames. So I expect this to happen right now. And I would love to be in on this, but this is just a 15. Like I said, on the 30, once it does that, it's reflipping bearish. If this was a higher time frame closure, I would do it here. Also, if we were coming up like this and not have this area up here just yet, if we were just coming up and did that. But I think the next 15 is likely to give you that bottom wick that we just drew up here. I don't know why I drew it in red. Right? And it opened up with no top. Okay, let me take this. That you don't want. That's your advantage point this wick, this first wick. So here's the deal. Hey, we might have some positions here. If this breaks this high right now, the one we're at, see this wick? That's the advantage point here. That's the first instance of a rejection. It breaks that high. It comes back down to this area. You can't take that wick entry now, right? The 30's got the top wick. As it starts breaking lows, it come back down. But you can now take the rebreak of that high right here. These wicks to the left are your advantage point. So if it comes back down to these areas with another bottom wick and then rebreaks highs, we'll be in there. If it just pushes up now, we're not going to be in there. There's a lot of shit drawn on charts. And you know what? I was talking about something about these levels that I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, pushing back up to these. Oh, this is what I wanted to mention. For example, right? Well, I spoke about it before, right? For your first breakout out of this range, right? Didn't drive. It kind of held, pulled back to a support, and then it broke out. So on the higher time frame here, on the hourly, it'll kind of do the same thing, right? It won't just immediately dry. It'll break out. You'll get some closures that show that this level is now being respected, and then it'll go. But it's very seldom that you just see market push through ranges. Some shit's got to be going on, and you'll avoid it when you see it happening. You just won't. There's nothing for you to take in those instances, so you won't be a part of it. The risk won't be there. So interesting. Look where we closed. See, we have precedent for this as well. What does the market do off that area? Boom, boom. Can't take that sell? No, we've closed bullish here. You need to break those lows. In this case, you can't just break those lows and take that entry, right? Or I mean, right now you can't. Over here, look, you could have that break of the lows is entry. This break of the lows, you still have all these rejection wicks, right? That we even took this to come up. So in this case, you can't act on it, where in this case you could. Like today is a day that shows a lot of things you shouldn't act upon, because even if they work out long term, that's not what happens. And a lot of times you're going to be, it's like a fool's gold, right? A false sense of profitability, because now you've ingrained in your head that a 10% position wins 90% of the time because it worked the time that you've tried it. You understand? So it's kind of been, it's been that kind of day. Wait, let me update the record, because we did take a W here. And we did take 35 pips. There goes the 30, flipping back bearish. Maybe it breaks the lows here, comes back up, still closes respecting this level. We could use this wick that's now made by this 30, this 15, this wick. This will eventually be an advantage point for us to use once we start coming back up. If we are able, for example, to fake out and then close back up above the range, right? So let's say this candle is able to, whoops, wrong color, sorry. We are not, we see no color. Boom. Only red and green. So if we're able to do something like this, right? I understand there's a level here. I understand there's a gap to fill. Ideally, we fill it and then our trades start forming after that. So maybe, right? Something like this. But still respect of these areas, and maybe a closure. Like you see the narrative being built. If we can get rid of this area, because we understand this is likely to fill at some point. We can have that fill. If we can still close back up above the range, like we're trading this up. you gotta wait. You gotta be patient. There's plenty of things that can happen, but you want the narrative. You want the narrative to match what your actions in the charts, but your actions in the charts need to happen when you identify high degree of probability. High degree of probability. Everything else is noise, not worth your time, and you settling. If I tell you that who's hot? Who do the kids consider hot nowadays? Who's like, who do you guys think is good looking? Like Shirley Temple or something? Like who's hot nowadays? Lizzo, whatever. Like Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, okay, I agree. So, like, would you want to marry Kamala Harris today, or if you wait a week, you get a Sydney Sweeney? I'm waiting a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you want to settle? You don't settle in life. Why are you settling here in the most, the aspect of your life that really determines the quality of your life?
Super Turk 117 wants Michael. Wants Big Mike.
Hold on.
In the chat, in the Zoom chat.
Oh, yeah. My bad. A bunch of people at the Zoom door. Hold on.
Big Mike.
My bad. He said Michelle Obama.
Big Mike.
We picked viewers today and 420 watching. How am I not smoking a joint right now for you guys?
Big
Absolutely
Mike
incredible.
Oh, God, dude, no.
What happened? What'd you say?
He's like, Big Mike is the queen. Ja.
Yeah. That's their way. That's their way of saying ha 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 ha.
Yeah. That's how. Yeah. Ja.
Funny in your head when you say it. It's like ja.
Hilarious.
Gang, please drop a like, sub to the channel. If you enjoyed that trade, the breakdown, the value, the knowledge, just the vibe and the conversation, drop a like, sub to the channel. Please share this stream. After a long time, I'm watching you, OG traders. Thank you. Please share the stream so we can grow this community, and I'll forever continue to ask for your help in doing that. In doing all of that. On the stream of doing it on Christmas. I mean, we took a dub today. We're winners. We made $1,800. No, I'm sorry. We made $1,700. And we paid $39.52 in synchronization fees. The worst. Every day there's some fucking fee. $40 here, $80 there. Synchronization. We need to synchronize your terminal to our broker. I hate seeing that shit. You see it. Same. I paid 20. You paid 20 for today's trade? Mine was 40, 39.52. But mine was this was, I don't know how. It should be around $60. I think we will touch some recent lows. We'll stay away from that. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, calm, and reason. I mean, yeah, it's very tough in this industry to kind of just go, because I said so, right? Like, you see Sam, he asked a bunch of questions. He's trying to understand. So I'm trying to reason it out with him, because like when I used to ask people questions and they'd be like, it's just because that's what it is, bro. And they'd be like, yeah, but there's got to be some kind of reason behind that. Like, that's just what happens. But like, if I can logically like voice it out and actually explain it in terms of candles, yeah, I don't know what behind the scenes is. I don't know, in terms of the Fed, Trump, tweets, Orange Man, gas prices, like
Venezuela.
Yeah, but in Venezuela, exactly. Tariffs, in between all that, like, I don't know what all the reasoning is, but if I can reason it out in terms of reading the candles, having the time frames line up, having the levels line up, look for historical price data that also matches what we're talking about. And if it all falls in line, and then we can have, you know, the 4, the 1, the 30, the 15 all close above the range and print bullish. Like, if we can reason it out in those terms, because that's the language you're going to speak now. You're going to speak in candles. You're even going to live in candles sometimes, because when you go somewhere, you're going to be seeing charts everywhere. Right? You see mountains, holy shit, I see a double top. But like, you know, you're going to see that everywhere. Like, you're going to go to the store and you're going to think, how much is this? How many pips? And like, you got to speak in candles. That's really it. But I swear, everywhere
You're
I go,
you're at the
it's like,
store. How many pips?
How much would this cost us today? This trip? Oh, it's this many pips, and it's like,
I'm dead. That's funny.
But if you learn to speak this, like this, you know, they're gonna give you the reasoning behind it. Oh, why is it doing this? Because that candle did that. Because we've seen it do this. Because the 4 hour, the 30 hour, we don't know if, like, you know, if they find out that, like, I don't know, if Epstein's still alive, and Trump is, you know, Trump is really Epstein. Have you seen them in the same room together live? Not on pictures. But
Dude, Epstein's apparently living in Tel Aviv now.
Yeah. you don't be saying the M word right now. Don't be saying the M word.
The M word?
Yeah.
I don't know what the M word is.
It's the agency he works for. You say that word, we get.
Oh, that word. Oh,
it's like making a Jesus joke right now.
Oh.
Next thing you know,
I know what you're talking about. The other intelligence.
The other
agency.
guys, yeah.
The other intelligence agency.
Yeah. The other guy. I shoot charts in EKG at the hospital. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Sir, you're at break even. I need you to kind of push up a bit. Sir.
Here, Wicks, here's the trivia question for you. Who's Ghislaine Maxwell's father?
He was I know he was very rich, but they say that's how Epstein might have gotten his wealth, through that connection. He was a big Epstein sponsor.
He works for the M word.
Yeah. Well, no, he used to at one time. You always worked, but he was I forgot what he made his wealth on. He was a writer, wasn't he? A writer or something like that?
Robert Maxwell?
Yeah, what was he? He was a publisher, that's what it was. Ooh, a bunch of people at the Zoom door. Welcome. Come on in. Our stream, W Signal Show. I made $10 on this funded account in the last 2 days. Can't get jiggy with this shit. Is it possible to add the number of contracts in the Signal channel? Signal is live account. If you're not trading the same amount on live account, it wouldn't do you any good. Everyone is risking different amounts on every trade. That's very true. Very true. I'm thinking the count gets whenever I take a trade, it's usually a 10th of the account. Is that right? I'll say, all right, 100 pips would lose me. Yeah. So I would go by 10% of the account. So when I had 150 and 200 in there, I was doing 20s, even a $1.50. Right now, pretty much every trade is somewhere between 5 and 8 pips. I mean, 5 and 8 lots. Until I'll get it up to 70K, and I'll probably go up to 10, 15. Wondering what happened to the account. I just had a withdrawal. Don't worry. There's no loss. I just took a Christmas withdrawal. Ghislaine Maxwell's father.
I think we might start heading down from here.
I think we go down. I think we go further down, just based on 30 and how it's printed initially, and then you had this at this level here on a smaller time frame. You can see the
There it goes.
5. You can see that. Be careful thinking that's yep where it goes. There it goes, because it can just as quickly pump up here. You're gonna need, in order to confirm that drop, you're gonna need closures here. You need closures below the range, and no matter how far it drops right now, right, you're gonna need a closure to say that it's gonna continue dropping. Because you're not getting in on the drop, you need an indication that it's gonna continue dropping, so you can get in on the next candle or the volume candle, whenever, right? So you want a closure to prove there's enough volume in the market to maintain price below that level, right? Otherwise, if it comes back up in range, there's just not enough volume to close outside the range. You're like, why would you want to be in a low volume candle? But realistically speaking, typically after a really big candle, you get a big candle. Like big candle, big candle, big candle, big candle, big candle. You know, odds are like 4 to 1.
15 engulfed the previous 15.
Decision making time. No top wick on this 15. The previous 15 has a really small bottom wick, aka very little range. So let's see what it does.
Jeez.
Ooh, wouldn't it be amazing if it fills this right now? Be sick. Hi, beautiful. How are you? You put on makeup? Come here, let me see. Wait, what is it? What kind of makeup? Is that anime?
Please.
We just tap Asia lows.
We approve of the anime? Let's see what they say. See what they say on stream. And don't read that part about getting late. All that. Okay, don't read none of that. Chat. Be nice, chat. Cute, very cute, you see? Thank you. W. K-pop. Yeah, we love K-pop. Amazing. All right, you see, they like it. W little wicks. Love you. Don't grow up, it's a trap. Don't worry, she didn't see that.
Don't grow up, it's a trap. Dude, that's so true.
That's funny. I wish I knew that when I was 5 and had the mind of a 50-year-old. Or like a 50, you know? If I knew all that at that age.
Kurt Nicholas, if you keep looking down the Google post, you'll see that he was an intelligence agent as well.
It's wild. You need to get a camera for this PC? Yes, you do. Get them cams. Tap this lower area, right? And you're thinking, shit, is this when it fills the gap? And then it's like, but no. So there's a few ways this can work here, right? You have a 4-hour closing. Let's see the 4-hour. And the 4 hours closing here in 30 minutes. This is going to be a big fucking tell. If the opening 4-hour respects the 4-hour resistance, the daily doesn't have a bottom wick. We're at a strong. We've made the strong resistance here. We're at a smaller time frame level now, but below it, right below it, is where the 4-hour holds that range. So either the smaller time frame now gives us a nice little fake out or a support. I would prefer a fake out because I would prefer a closure like this, right below the range, and then a closure back above the range, in turn making a 30 look something like this, and then on the break of these highs is your position. This is the same position, just this is what the 30 looks like, this is what the 15 would look like, and multiple time frames would start aligning. And right, if we close below right now on this 15 and the next one 15 closes above, that fake out, besides the 30 looking like this, right, this fake out also closes that 4 hour above the 4 hour range up here. Look, see that closure would be above the 4 hour range. So if these are the next 215 candles, we fake out 30 supports. The 4 hour closes above. I mean, where else are you going? Everything's telling you, no, we're going to continue up here. We're at least to retest these highs, but right now you got to wait for closures. Because in every instance, right? And this is your 4 hour. All right, if in that case, this is your 4 hour, it's a really steep wick fill, right? It's going to be that same candle. This candle, this candle, this candle. See how the narrative falls into place on every time frame with everything that you just have to kind of realize where the opportunity is going to lie and plan for it, right? At that point, the current candle probably gives you a really good stop, because if that re-breaks the lows at that point, now you're in the wrong direction, right? And it can do that. That's why you don't bet the house. You keep, keep risk manageable. Stop thinking it's a buy, look for sells. People told me to look for sells as it was coming down here, and we took buys in one. Well, stop loss previous trade, took 20 points, didn't know what I was risking. Don't enter the trade if you're not sure. I had the stops on screen here. It was this wick right here. Because that's until then, right? This is where the 4 hour breaks. Until then, you're highly, you're far ahead. You're ahead probability wise. Until this low breaks, you're ahead probability wise. Then you're in the wrong direction. It's just at some points this low doesn't make sense in terms of how many pips you're willing to lose. In some points, it's very friendly to you, right? Look at that. See, it was breaking down, back up in range.
And we swept Asia lows.
You're going to see this happen so much if you just show up to every session. All of this, like I said, you're here for 2 candles. This candle and this candle, right? You're here 8 to 10. AM or PM, doesn't matter. These are the 2 candles you need to know and their relationship with each other and how they interact. And if I didn't know how they interact with each other, I don't take that buy there. But I see this before. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. And I know the relationship between these 2 candles based on how they close, based on where they close, based on what time they close. And I'm going to make my decision, as long as it falls in line with my narrative, based on that information, based on everything that's available to me within those parameters, right? I'm not going to base it on RR, and that's not going to be a part of the equation. Some people, it's part of the equation. As I just told you, the equation, and it's not a variable in our equation. I'm not going to base it on a fib level. I'm not going to, there's a lot of things that are just not a variable in our equation. And there's many ways to do this, many perspectives. You can trade this however you want. A lot of strategies notice the same thing, just in different ways, right? Or take advantage of the same things in different ways, apply it in different ways. But people that have watched this for years, even they trade a different way, they recognize this too, because their eyes are just trained, right? They see this, they've seen this happen plenty of times. They might interpret it differently and have a different edge or look for something different, but they're going to understand that this is how the candles are going to look, because they've seen this. Your brain is a muscle, and muscle memory. You've seen this plenty of times. You're going to realize this is how it prints. And some people look for the edge here, some people look for the edge here, some people look for the edge here. It's all perspective and comfort levels and reasoning, and where you're able to convince yourself. How much convincing do you need internally for your own reasoning? Your relationship with money, the way the market's printing in relation to what you're used to, right? Maybe you're seeing 200 pip candles when you're used to 30 pip candles, and now that throws you off. So these things all come into play, right? These are all different nuances that you need to master, you need to control. But these are the 2 candles you're here for. Focus on them. You don't need to focus on this. You don't need to focus on this, right? Focus on what you're affecting, right? Everything else, like as we always said, takes care of its own. Any questions? So you're saying we're looking to continue sell. No, I'm telling you that the market's going to tell you whether it's going to be a sell or a buy after it makes a decision at these levels, right? So it's either going to form a support or a resistance, or it's going to break them. And when it does that, it's your job to trust it as a support or a resistance. It's not, oh, what you think and it's lying to you and it's faking out. And in this case, no, you got a closure. Trust it to do what it's telling you. Majority of the time it will, not always, right? But a majority of the time it will. And your job, this is a probabilities game. There's nothing here for certain. Nothing, no aspect of this, you know, in this sphere of this sport, I guess you can call it, right? This professional sport is for certain. This is all probabilities. Your job is to find the edge in those probabilities. And before you even find the edge, you have to know where to look for the opportunity to develop that edge. It's a game of thousands, and you're going to need to take thousands of positions, thousands of stops, thousands of TPs, and then you're going to need to take multiple positions, right? Doing that. But you're also going to need to take that same position thousands of times using one risk management strategy, thousands of times using another risk management strategy. And then you figure out not just which position works, but which risk management of that said position is the best way to go. Because you're constantly optimizing, you're constantly looking to get better at it, so you maximize your positions, right? You scale on the things that work, and things that don't, you slowly get them out of there, right? You guys know if you do Facebook ads, you'll drop 30 ads. Things that work, you scale those. Everything else you get rid of. Very similar. Scale the things that work, but realize it's a probabilities game. So if it didn't work once, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. If it worked once, it doesn't mean it works. It's a game of thousands. All right, what else? Only thing I see for now is a double top. Yeah, I mean, if that's where your focus is. My focus is really trying to see if we can get this 4-hour to close above the range.
Dude, this is actually so hilarious. So I'm playing, real quick, Wicks. I'm playing this. This is totally off topic, but I'm playing this blockbuster game on my phone just to kill time. And like ads come on of like other games to download, and it puts me into this freaking epic plane evolution game where I'm flying a plane and plane into buildings. Hey, bro, what the heck is this?
Oh man, I wish I could play that game right now.
Dude, what is this, bro? Epic plane evolution of flying planes in the buildings.
They can't let me play that video game.
Dude. That's terrible. Holy shit.
Well, time my stop hits and the price reverses. No, it's you. It's really not the stop hunt. You. I hear what you're saying. Okay, that's fine. Alex is gonna he would. What do you? I hear consider putting your entry where your stop loss would have a BN and see how that sample works. It's not the 4 hour, 30-minute chart. I'm on every chart. 4 hour, 1 hour, 30, 15. Can you at least bring food? I'm starving. Can you bring food back? Please. Yeah, Marion, you didn't draw down like yesterday. Who's Marion? Oh, we had somebody in somebody on the charts in drawdown. Yeah. What are we looking for? I'm looking for support to form here and a 4 hour closure. So I'd want a strong bullish candle here at this point, right? We wanted to fake out the close below and the close above, but we've tapped that support, so that'll have to do. Just want a strong bullish closure here. 31 hour, and then we'll probably look at buys on the next candle. You think we can? Do you think we break the highs again during this? I'm not looking that far. I don't know. There's going to be more decision-making areas on the way. We could start coming up there.
I want to see buys.
I'll take Longhorns. I'll fucking take a Longhorns Philip Mignon. Anybody like long? One for everybody. A round of champagne for all the mods. I just got a dirty look and a door slam. Oh man. I love my life. I love my wife. My wife. I need some kebab. Word, I would have some lamb kebab and some rice pilaf. Like Donna's sushi? It depends on my mood. I think in general, I'm more likely to choose a Turkish, Middle Eastern, like Israeli, whatever, Greek, just a Middle Eastern food over anything else. That's just my favorite food. My favorite food. Middle Eastern food is just delicious. You guys make great salads. You know, I mean, Greeks and Italians ain't bad. But like, nobody makes food like the Middle Easterns. Any other confirmations? Well, we have a 4 hour printing above the 4 hour levels. Let's say, let me tell you confirmation right now. This 30 closes bullish. The 15 closes bullish at support. The 1 hour will close bearish, but with a rejection wick. Okay, it's not too great of a case. The 4 hours closing bullish above the range. Above the range. The Does that mean it can't come back into the range? Yeah, it can close back into range. It'll need a top wick to do so. And if every time frame, if we've just faked out here, we've tapped the lower low here, the support right below our support, right? We've tapped the next possible support right here and bounced back up in range. So we faked out. Smaller time frame faked out. Maybe the one. Yeah, I see the one faked out. But the 15 held, the 30 held, and now the 30 might close bullish. The 15 is going to engulf the previous 15. And even though the hourly is closing bearish here, it's closing bearish with a rejection wick and an advantage point in terms of this wick to the left of it. So if we can close right now with a top wick, I'm going to have a buy limit at this area, and we will have a 73 pip stop. We need a top wick on this candle. We need a top wick on this candle. And if we open up with a bottom wick, we will have some buy limits. Seven minutes here. There's a lot can happen. This can be a top wick, break down, and we close below. A lot can happen here. So just be patient, right? This can drive all the way up to the range and then take away our advantage point. So many things can happen here. This isn't a trade for this candle. This is a trade for the very next candle. Kebab is not Turkish, it's Kurdish food. It's just Middle Eastern, forget Turkish. So the Turks make great kebabs. I don't know what food it is. I know the Uzbeks make great kebabs. I know the Turks make great kebabs. I know I go to a Greek place that makes dope kebabs.
The Uzbeks.
Right? And they do. They make the best rice pilaf in the world. They make their best rice pilaf. They make the best lamb. Just, I've never tasted lamb like in an Uzbek restaurant.
I'm a seafood guy.
Yeah, I mean, I seafood, I eat it too, but like, I like seafood. Yesterday I had salmon, but like, I'll have sushi throughout the day. But like, if we're talking
Sushi,
straight
shellfish, crab.
I'm not big on shellfish. I'm not big on crab. I'm okay with it. Like, I can have some fish and chips or like
I go crabbing in the ocean with my buddy. Put like 4 crab pots out in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Polar limit.
Is there good Ukrainian food? Yeah, we have borscht and pelmeni. Borscht and pelmeni. Trading calendar link is broken. I know it's not up. It's not active. It's not active.
So wicks, you think it will be coming up and filling that 4-hour wick?
Yeah, I think this hourly is going to close bullish too. I think if we open up with a bottom wick, that's where we're headed. Yeah, it's eating away at all of our range. Like, we have this resistance here. You see, this is what's kind of pissing me off. This is room here to go here on a 30, but our stops get really hefty here. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of time here. There's a chance, like I'm telling you, I've seen candles like this push up here and end up bearish back below the range here. This, because a lot of people are getting ahead of it. A lot of people are taking entries right now as that 30 is rebreaking its own high. The hourly's got a while to go.
I took entries. I took buy entries at the support. That's just because I got my entry criteria with the sweep of Asia lows. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it was just a bit of a different equation.
Yeah.
But people are taking it on the breaks that are high, and that's why I said on the next candle I would want to see that bottom wick entry. I wanted at these levels, right here, right? The levels we're talking about, levels we had an entry on our previous trade.
Yeah.
It's just the 15 clearly established a range here, and if that closure is at the higher time frame makes sense, right? But it's not going to tell me it doesn't mean I disregard what happens on a smaller time frame. This has to align. So maybe it still will align, and maybe the smaller time frame will close above there, right? Because there's a chance, right? If let's say we get this top wick here, but it still closes respecting this. there's a chance the next 15 looks like this. Now we've got a bottom wick. Now we've got that smaller time frame closure above, right? And we have this range, and we have the 4 hour breaking its own high now.
Yeah.
So you think in terms of how could this set up that I can be in it, right? What does it have to do for me to be in it? Like, not like, oh, do I enter just because I'm here? Just I'm on the charts? Your decision shouldn't be buy or sell. Your decision should be when. Right? So people come in here and they're always like, buy, sell, but that's not the decision. Your decision should really be when. You can do both, but when? Come on, bro. Doesn't let me live. He knows he's on camera. Doesn't like it. What? You know, you keep pushing my hand. I'm trying to move the mouse, and you're not working. So the paw is better, right? Put the paw on me and just not let me freaking move anything. Come on, bro. You're heavy. I hope he does not fart today. Yeah, he farts all the time. So you see this? Like, you can, because you're respecting that level, this is a lot of range here. This is 36.27. Don't think this isn't like, this is 90, 80 pips worth of range. So, right. You need time frames to align. Smaller time frames, higher time frames. You need them to line up. You prefer for them to line up. If this is the case, right? You're respecting this level right now, that could happen, and then you're looking at this, and then another decision is going to have to be made at this area to break through or not. The good thing is you had a lower level here, you had a level here, so you are likely to not break that low. As if this happens, what happens in these situations, just let's go from experience, right? Typically this candle, because look at this low, you're making higher highs, higher lows, right? What happens here, this next candle, even if it drives down here, it'll do something like this. Boom, boom. And if we are continuing that move up, you're going to see a slingshot that's going to close you like this. And you're going to be, right? You're going to be looking like this. And in that case, close your eyes and buy.
Close your eyes and buy.
What it is? Yep. Will there be a wick fill in the next candle? I believe so, depending on the 4 hour closure. Do we hold? Do we respect? Do we reject? But the way it's pushing up here in the last 2 minutes, just sucks that it ate away at a lot of our range. I see that 15, and that 15 could send it back down too. A resistance is a resistance, right? Eventually the smaller time frame resistances will flow into the higher time frame, and the higher time frame resistances will, you know, we'll start respecting those levels too. And then you get, you know, let's say you get the hourlies and the 15s lining up, because eventually one time frame will flow into the next, right? But yeah, right now, still 90 seconds here, 80 seconds here. Let's wait. I think if we close respecting this area, I'll probably call it a session, because it's going to be a later move, and I definitely want to call it in the signal channel sometime tonight if it does play out. But if it just breaks up here, okay, is this good? We got a top wick. If we close with no top wick, same thing. Probably going to call it. We need a top wick to say that there's range. We need to close above, and we need to have a decent stop off the next candle. So let's say if this is entry on the stops are, holy jumping fucking Jesus, 136. Urgh. Doggo, thank you. And a buy 40 pips profit, thinking to close and wait for retest. I think the next candle gives you a bottom wick, which could possibly stop you out. So it really depends where your entry is. If you're down here on the wicks, I doubt it gets there, but I think up until here, right, this wick that brings you up and this level, right, I think you can definitely wick down into these areas and then come up. Ideally, you want to entry somewhere at that support right there if you're wicking down. 30s even lower. Well, 10 second. You need a top wick. You need this to make sense. You need to have a top wick. Why? Because wicks are ranges. If there's no wick, there's no more range to come up, and this thing just ate away at all of our range. Yeah, there's gonna be no positions here. The hourly looks great, right? Holy shit. The hourly's got that top wick, but man, is that an ugly closure on every other time frame on 30 and a 15. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
That's so ugly. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a stream on that candle. We need range. This candle does not have range. That means more candles have to print. What happens after this candle? It'll usually flip back bearish, right? Because this candle shows that there's no more range. So it'll flip back, and that flip itself creates range. That top wick is the range created. So that's why the hourly looks fucking amazing. That's the only time frame that looks great.
I'm up 80 pips.
What was that?
I'm up 80 pips.
You're up 80 pips for what? A sell? A buy?
No,
oh, yeah.
buy.
Off your level. Yeah. Somewhere here. Okay. Oh, you're in off the 5 here. Okay, I see.
So you see the wick before the drive up, right before
Yeah,
session? Over to the left. Yeah, right there. So I draw those wicks right there that your mouth is on right now. So I draw a line all the way at the bottom of those wicks to the left, and that's what I call an inducement. So it's inducing buyers into the market. It's enticing them into the market. And then once I see that big rejection candle, that's and then obviously that support form, then that was my entry at your support level.
Nice, W. Utilizing the knowledge from here and from there, and just, building your own strategy. Kind of optimizing your damn self. And it gets great when you start recognizing opportunities in the market. Like, you can clearly tell, oh shit, I can take advantage of this, take advantage of that. Because then you're not looking for help. You're just, you're working at your own pace on things that others aren't doing. It's pretty cool. Seeing people working on their own stuff.
Well, you're definitely getting me perspective in the market, because it's the biggest thing I think I struggled with gold is not only finding, or it's I was able to find my levels and stuff like that, but it's just in support and resistance levels and what you base that off of, and you base that off of higher time frame
confluence with the lower time frame. Yeah, but really you want the higher time frame levels. And ideally you want the lower time frame levels to match the higher time frame levels, because it makes your decision-making process a lot easier. It's a lot easier to is it this level, or is it at that level, or is it that time frame, or it's they all line up and you're all right, I don't even need to ask those guys. Skip all of that. Buy.
Yeah.
Should buy right now, wait for gains. At what cost though? You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with you. I think we should re-break highs and push up. Man, what's the stop here? Small. 37. Almost feels like a lie, like a mirage, right? 37 pip stop. Nah. What I'm looking at is, I realize this candle closed with no range. I also realize this top wick just created range. I think if we can head down here to maybe a support area previously and bounce off there, it should have enough volume to bring us up and re-break these highs. Because with volume, we'll fill, with momentum, we'll fill this wick and then next range. So I'm really looking to see if we can come back down. We might have positions here very soon, gang. Very, very soon, my friend. Okay. It's also going to be the 4-hour re-breaking highs. Come on. Re-break lows. Re-break lows, we'll have a buy stop, and we'll have current candle stops. It's not bad. Not a bad stop. I think I'm going to have a buy stop here. I'm going to go above this wick to the left, probably right there. 35.9. That's perfect. 39.7. 39.9 right there. Buy stop 1 because that's my max. Really want bottom wick here, but we just bottom wick entry would do us a lot of good, but stops are not what I want to see. And there's a chance these stops build up to that, at which point I just don't want to see that either. I'm hoping right here, like I said, that level to the left, right? This area, that's the extent of it. And then we can be maybe about 50, 60 pips in terms of stops. And then we're trading with the 4-hour bias. We're trading with the hourly, the rebreaks at highs. It would fall in line. And then, you know, your TP is somewhere up here on the fill of the wick. Hold on, let me set my buy stops on the live account, 4539.9.
Wicks, do you have a like a course product that you sell?
Yes and no. I don't really sell. I don't make it public. Because it needs a massive update. I mean, it's a lot of old knowledge, but it's going to need massive. This is a level where we want to be taking buys off the bottom wick. If this candle had a top wick and this candle opened up with a bottom wick, this is a buy level right now. And it should still do what we're expecting it to do. But there's an off chance it doesn't, right? This can close right now. We already have that top wick, so we can't bank on it making it. We can close back in range here on this 15. And that's a fake out, right? And then we get that top wick and it comes back down. But if this candle is able to slingshot right now and push and break these highs, then, I mean, we'll be in good shape. This just needs to stop pushing because at some point these stops are going to get untradeable. And for now, I think we're good. Yeah, if this is able to slingshot right now, we'll be in good shape. We should not come back down to re-break the lows if in this case we break highs. Shouldn't happen. We should fill the range first. I think that's where we're headed. Right, if it breaks down here, no harm, no foul. But man, 90 pip stop here. All right, let's see.
Price should head up from here.
See.
There's a gap on the 1 minute.
Well, it's a good thing for us. It's made that top wick, right? That's that first resistance. That's what we wanted. If it was going to close like that, we wanted that top wick first. Stops will probably, they're going to be current candle. Just can't risk more and wouldn't make sense. It's tapped. It's tapped the higher time frame supports here, the hourly, the 30. Right, like I said, that's where you want that bottom wick entry to be when we're here, but we also wanted no top wick here. The signals, if you see a buy limit, buy stop and a sell limit, that sell limit is a partial close. Sell limit is a partial close. Also, right, if we also have the most optimal stop in terms of the 4-hour. Look, the 4-hour should 42, 30. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right here. Should be entering 39.9. Limit sell.
Beautiful price action right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's setting up perfectly. This is what you want to see. But you can't bank, you can't bank the house on it because it's probabilities game. This is a 90% setup. Highly likely every time frame has fallen lying here. I'm very confident in this. I like this. The only thing the only thing that is not falling line is this top wick, but we've created it on this one. If it wants to come down here, great. But execution wise, this is exact everything you want to see. Okay, we're in there. May the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house, gang.
Put it all on black.
I wouldn't put it all, but I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna bet when you're ahead. You gotta bet your hand when you're ahead. Probability dictates you're ahead. Play that.
Don't put it all on black.
Put all of it on anything, but play the probabilities game. 920. I think. That's anywhere lower than that.
Gotta keep letting it run.
Yeah, in this case, it either comes up. If it takes you out and then decides to re-break highs, that can happen. I'll retake it just like I did earlier in the week. But technically, like you're really ahead in this trade. At the fill of this wick, I won't take profits, but I will go break even that wick to the left. There's a chance it pumps down from there. Four-hour, hourly, bottom wicks, rebroke highs. Look at the 4-hour. Look where that bottom wick tapped on the 4-hour, that previous level over here. So it's done everything you want it to. Now it's just time for you to put your trust in the higher time frame and let it play out. Celery would be nice. No, it would be nice if it pushes now. Forget the celery. I don't want to see the celery play. I want to see this push now. Don't stick around for no celery play and another bottom wick. That would be annoying. I want to push. Give to me push. Fill of that wick, remember? To the left here. About 41.8. Oh. 41. Did we tap it? Push up. Don't come back just yet. All right. fill that wick. So there's a chance this is where it comes down from. We wanted to keep pushing. Stops to break even here. House money, but there's a chance it comes back down. So stops to break even. We've closed with no top wick. Actually, you know what? That might smack. I'm going to sell partials right there on in the signal channel. And I've closed 3 out of the 5 lots that I had running there. Let's see if we can push again. Oh, we didn't tap. We didn't tap our level. I'm sorry, gang. This might be another break-even trade here. 20 pips. Let's secure. Let's win something today. Yeah, 20 pips. 20 pips in the funded. Because I think this candle can come back down here. But if it doesn't, and if we continue pushing, we secured. Yeah, it's house money here. Wait. Sell limit's got to be removed because it's a 2 lots. Sell limit 1 at the fill of the wick. So right now I have a sell limit right here. I have 2 lots left running on the live account, and let me see if I can do this. This is what the live account looks like right now. Stops to break even. And partials are at the fill of this wick right here to the left. I have partials right there. Actually, let me get rid of that. Move this blue line. This blue line right there is where my partial is. I've already secured 20 pips. And I'm looking to secure another maybe 25. So maybe, I think that's around 50 pips over there for the partial. 56 pips, actually. So we secured 3 out of the 5 lots, 60% of the position, and I'm going to secure another 20% at 56 pips. I know we want the bottom wick entry, but unfortunately we didn't get the closure we want, right? And this candle then opened up with the top wick first. So I know we didn't get the most optimal, but 4 hours pushing here. Push up, give us a runner. Right now we got a runner. So can we just get?
We got a runner.
Yes, can we just get it? Can we just get it? No. The problem is this candle, right? Look how we just closed. That one closed. This is a leg candle, right? This one closed all bullish, heavy drive. This is a leg candle. A lot of times this following candle will flip bearish and you're going to have a steep drive down. But honestly, if that's going to happen, there's a chance we grab a steep top wick before that. So I would prefer we grab a top wick and then come down. Oh, that's going to take us up. Is it 7, 6, 5? Reflip bullish. Reflip bullish. Boo! Boo! Oh no, we suck again. So that hit break even. Congrats to everybody. What did we close there? 20 pips. 18 in the signals and 19 on the funded. So 19 pips. Slowly but surely. I mean, over 50 pips today for the session. Win number, you just slowly at your own pace build yourself. Win number 603.
You guys already closed?
Yeah. Bye. Bye. Why are you asking? We secured 20 pips. I was just pissed, you know, at this fucking account. 3 trades, 3 break evens, $10 to show for it. No, I'm gonna secure 20 pips and I'll wait for the next trade here. I can't, there's no runners here for me, right? There's no partials here for me. But then on the live account,
on your live account.
The live account, yeah, it came back to break even. So I went BE, we secured 18 pips, 19 pips. So yeah, the signal channel got 35 and 18. Congrats to the signal channel. This fucker's gonna re-break the slow and has a really strong chance to come back based on that previous candle closure. Like these candles, yeah, they close similarly, but they're very different candles, right? Very different. Nice trade wicks. What prop firm do you? This is top one futures. You can see in the top right corner. Do not look at the top right corner of your stream, or you might get an answer. 156 pips. We're going to bed. Yeah, I mean, great session. Really good price action. Textbook behavior by gold. All you got to do is learn to read these candles, and you'll be way ahead of the curve, right? It's a really steep earning curve here. Really steep. Your first time going live? Well, come through. Hey, gang, please drop a like and sub to the channel for that W, for both wins. For both W's, please drop a like, sub to the channel. Please, please, please share this stream. Help me grow this community. And yeah, congrats to the Signal channel on getting 2 dubs. Congrats to stream on getting the 2nd dub. And bro, I'm Indian. This is my phone. What is it with you people? How often are you on one? Oh, I'm always on one, bro.
Gosh.
I'm always on one. I'm on one right now.
Durga.
I drop a like. This is my first time here, and I love your info. Absolutely. Thank you.
Dude, silver is almost at 75 an ounce. It hit 75 an ounce.
Probably the chart looking like this.
That's insane, bro.
Okay, I see your Signal channel is $100. I'm gonna go with it, Brody. It's cheap as hell. It's under $100. It's 97, but it's going up. Yeah, like we've been.
Dude, there's talk of silver going to like 300 an ounce.
What did I say about gold? 30,000 next 10 years.
Imagine what silver will do in 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna follow each other. They're affected by the same things.
No, I know for sure. It's just like there's more of a world use for silver, which is just insane.
I mean, maybe
like using cars, solar panels, batteries, phones.
Supply and demand game anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So no matter like, you know, supply and demand, silver and gold will still be affected by the same nuances that happen in the markets.
Silver's been highly manipulated over years, though.
I honestly, I haven't opened a silver chart in maybe like 6 years, but I remember I used to watch silver when I just started trading, and I used to watch gold and silver and oil. And
I watch silver because my mom holds like a lot of physical silver.
Oh,
so I'm like,
where do you live?
In Washington State.
Oh,
so PNW, north of Seattle.
Hey, drop the Addy. How much silver does mom really have, though?
Huh?
I'm messing with you.
No, I mean, it's not like it's a lot more than most people.
All right, gang.
Yeah. Literally living in the liberal capital,
Seattle.
and I ain't no liberal, bro.
Yeah, what are you doing over there? Why are you?
It's just where I was born and raised, and
you know it's contagious.
I'm acclimated to the weather. No, man, I'm a traditional conservative.
Nice.
But
until you go to the strip club, I bet you liberal as fuck at the strip club.
Dude, dating here in this area, terrible. Don't do it.
Where do you live?
I don't.
Fox City? Oh, Tent City? Whatever they call it. Yeah, I got a little high rise in Tent City.
I mean, there's a lot of churches out here, so I mean, a lot of people. There are a lot of like, I mean,
word. Yeah, the church down the block from me is a trap house. You guys saw that reel? Yeah, I've been going there for 10 years. I never knew that shit was a church. But it's a fucking trap house.
So you think this 4 hour work's gonna keep getting filled? Wicks.
You're gonna need some smaller time frame indications of that. And right now, it doesn't look good. It looks like you've come up to a resistance level. There are levels here, right? You see levels you've driven down from before. And yeah, they've been cleared out, but like that's what's happened previously. Let's see what the market does. Now it's probably going to mirror what's happened here, right? Pulled back up to these levels and dropped down. Here's the only difference here is this had a straight drop. This just found support. So honestly, yeah, I'm under the impression we're going to fill this wick, but the 4 hours is a long candle. It's 4 hours. So I'm under the impression we fill this wick after re-breaking the lows. So the current 4 hour will probably grab a steeper low based on the way the smaller time frames are printing right now with these no top wicks, no more range. Look, 2 candles in a row. But guess what? These are only 15 and 30 minute candles. So that entire breakdown and analysis could get affected and changed and updated on this closure. This is 4 minutes for the 15, 4 minutes for the 30, and 4 minutes, the entire analysis could change once you get that closure. And then once we have that, we have more data at our disposal. If we stay above this level, yeah, I'm still banking on the fact that we continue up here. If we close below the range, right, back into that previous range, yeah, I think we're going to come down to the bottom of the range and make another decision. Do we continue up from there? Do we continue to make a steeper bottom wick on the 4 hour? But I'll never just look at the 4 hour on a daily and be like, yeah, I think that's where it's going. Yeah, obviously it's fucking going up. But where and when is what matters. It doesn't matter where it's going. Like you know, honestly, you know what's going and where it's going. Your job is to find out when.
Gotcha.
When is it going to move? So you probably want to lock in on areas where the market makes a decision. A lot of times you want it to make a decision. A lot of times you understand that we're coming back to the decision-making area, and based on the higher time frame, based on what's happened previously at that level, you can probably start setting a limit because you have direction and you have a pullback to that level. Like you're already ahead of the game. You just need that wick to get the better entry. So it's such a nuanced sphere that we live in. I have suffers a loss of $70K.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, like what we do here is very nuanced, right? So we want to simplify. We don't want to make it more difficult. Like I always say, it's not rocket science. It's not easy, but it's not rocket science. This shit is hard, right? So no need for you. It's up to you how simple or difficult you want to make this hard shit. You want to make it difficult on yourself, add 1,000 indicators, go to 10, 15 different gurus, learn everything there is to know, read every book, and then sit there like, or simplify it. Yeah, it's very nuanced already. There's things you need as part of your equation. But after that, like, just simplify it. Be logical. If the indicator tells you what's already happened, probably don't need to use it. You can probably read it on the charts beforehand, right? If an indicator tells you levels, you can probably use your EYES indicator and figure out what the levels are just by going back, right? Looking left. Right? You don't need to know that to see an EMA crossover to say that you're now getting a bottom wick entry off a support. You're probably going to miss it on that crossover or the SMA. By the time that crossover happens, you're like, oh, well, I should have been in on the last candle or 2 candles ago. Do you teach this or do you give the signals in Discord? There's half a decade of live streams every single day, morning, evening, Asian session, New York session, half a decade, last 5 years, every day. So it's taught every day. Go to the last 3 months of streams. Just watch the last 3 months of streams and that's it. And that's all you need to know. The last 4 months of streams. Great announcement about another 50 pips on sale based on what you just said. Fucking yes. Yeah. Fucking love it. You know what that means? You know what that means, chat?
Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
Stop hitting me, bro. I have heard other channels say the market movers will keep making the markets higher to get their end of the year bonuses on Wall Street, and that makes sense. Okay, but Do you think price will just end up here on its own, or you will see candles printing on its way there? So nothing can be done without these candles printing, right? No matter how you feel, think, or what someone else has told you, right? Or heard. I don't know why I need to say someone else told you instead of heard. But it's just dumb. Sorry, that's the thought going on in my head, isn't it? But it's gonna have to be printed here. It's like, you guys speak Japanese? Lessons all day, every day. 10:30. It's way past our session. Oh, hold on, waiting for that 700 pip buy. All right, hold on. Before you guys dip, please don't leave. Please, baby, don't go. Please don't go. Wait, I want to get some spams going, but in order to get the spams, you're gonna have to set this up beforehand. So hold on. Give me. Yeah, and if you watch like the last hour and a half of stream, this is the only position we spoke about, broke down, and what we wanted to see, why we wanted to see it, how we wanted to see it, and then we saw it and we took it. I agree with you. I'm just passing info. Works when I get money later, I will buy you a good gift. You know what would be a good gift? A fillet mignon. Oh man, I am starving, Marvin. Damn. Marvin 9. Marwix 9. Starvin Marwix. Oh, yeah. Buy me a nice fillet mignon. Take me out to steakhouse. I love steak. Hold on. Let me set this up because I need your help. I need your help, gang. Dropping beats. Steak it is. Amazing. Amazing. Maybe a little coffee mug. We love you, Teach. Man, I said, look at the slingshot that we needed off that level. It all happened. I'll buy you something that you can forever remember. Yeah, make sure it's not like... Make sure it doesn't come from like a Wuhan lab or something. Because I can remember that forever. If you're walking around with the C word forever like luggage, bro. Just carrying around inside my body. Sorry, I'm very name biased. When I see names, I'm very biased. I automatically determine what you sound like, what you look like, what the stereotype would be. But, you know. Hi, beautiful.
Where's Mom?
At a friend's house. Why? Are you hungry? You want steak? What you want? You want to go on stream? Hey, say hi to everybody. Brr. This is Wix 12, everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Dance with me. All right, hold on. Let me finish filming. I live in China, but I'm not a Chinese. Oh, you very nice. You are Ghanaian Jamaican. Oh, you very good. You turn Chinese person into a black person. You very good. Can you make Szechuan chicken into a lamb chicken? I need magic trick now. I'm sorry, Chad. This is just, you know, enjoy the satire. Your accent not that good? All right, I'm sorry. Sorry. Have the best accent. Not me. Bro, you're racist? No, I'm definitely. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I told you, we're all white. We can't be racist. We're all off. Anyway, thank you for rocking with me, gang. If you can, please drop a like, sub to the channel, and please, please, please spam some motherfucking dubs. Oh, wait. I got ahead of myself there again. Wait, no. Pause. Yo. Spam some W's for that W, for the last 2 wins. Please, let's fucking go, chat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Where the dubs at? Yeah. W. Spam the dubs. Spam the dubs. Let's go. Thank you. I know I'm overdoing it. Thank you, gang. I appreciate you guys spamming the dubs. Please drop a like, sub to the channel. Join the Signal channel if you can't make all the streams, or if you can't make the streams, or if you want to make some money with us. Oh, hold on, sweetie. I'm almost done. I see. He's all over. Yeah. Sleeping under me. Yeah. So join the Signal channel and please share the stream. Also, Top 1 Futures is still at 50% off. So I know I have a live account here. I can't go buy a funded, but when I had a funded, they would be 50% off right now. So go get your instant funded, not a challenge account. Skip the challenge. Don't need to pay for data. Get an instant funded account and come trade and make money right away instead of passing challenges, right? So be ready. Tomorrow morning, we're going live for New York session. And other than that, drop a like, sub to the channel before you dip, and share the stream. That's all I ask for, and we're gonna keep providing these stimmies. I know we got a little bit of a sour taste in our mouth from our second to last stream before Christmas, right? That I haven't taken a loss in a long time, in about a month. So we took one. It wasn't pleasant, but we're right back on the right side of things, and gonna keep vibing. Keep flying, keep surfing this wave. It's been a wild ride. It's been an incredible end to an incredible year. My best year by far. So far, my best year by far in the 7, almost 8 years that I've been doing. It's only getting. Yeah, that's it. Let's call it a stream. Let's call it a session. Appreciate you guys being here. Zoom gang, I will see you guys here tomorrow, New York session. Options, Drizza, Sam, appreciate the convo. Santos, Mikey, everybody else in there. See everybody on screen here. And yeah, Turpy, mods. I hope everything's all right with Jay. I know he didn't make it here today, but I know I also know it's like 3 a.m. for him. So all good. Merry Christmas. Absolutely. Merry Christmas, everybody. Enjoy the holidays. Hope you're spending it with your loved ones. I will see you guys here tomorrow for our last stream of the week before the weekend. And we'll look to go into the weekend strong. I think there's a lot of banks that are closed tomorrow. Let's check this out for a sec. Yeah, everybody and their mother. No, that's today. Tomorrow. The Swiss are closed. The Euro, German, Italian, the British, and Canada's closed. The Europeans and the fall European here. All right, they're all closed, but New York is open, and that's all that matters. New York is open. We're going to be there. Last analysis, I already told you, I'm looking for this 4 hour to ride up. If you go back the last 10 minutes, about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, sweetie.
Where's Mama? Can you come back?
Can you give me a sec? I'm almost done. We'll go get some food and then she's gonna be back. I think she's already on her way back. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, I'm looking. If you're looking to trade right now, you want to either get closures down into range, or you want to form a strong support here, strong bullish candle. You have a level, right? A more recent level that's just been printed, right here, right? You really want to support print it and then start coming back up. Why? Because it would fall in line with the higher time frame, right? Yeah, the 4 hour can come back in range and fake out, and then at 2 a.m. will be really key. But I think overall the key tonight is 2 a.m. right? Because that's the next 4 hour closure, and the market's not going to turn around on one candle. So you can either continue to drive here on this candle and slingshot up, right? Which would mean you're going to start getting closures above the most recent resistance. As that happens, you can say, all right, we're getting closures above the most recent resistance on a smaller time frame. We're starting to re-break highs on the 4 hour. We got a massive 4 hour wick to fill. We've already bounced off a previous resistance that's now forming a support here, right? That previous range right here. We're bouncing off that high. What do you think it's going after that closure up here? It's fucking going up. All right? Ain't got nowhere else to go. Right? And if it's confused about it, you tell it, hey, Wicks said you got to go up, and it'll fucking go up. I promise you, that's what's going to happen. But yeah, like, you just be logical, build a narrative, right? As you're building a narrative, you make sure your higher time frames and smaller time frames are aligning, and then you're good to go, right? And that's all she wrote. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Wow. The savage in the building. Hey, appreciate you showing up. What's up, Daniel? $50, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Daniel used to show up here a long time ago, like when Don and I were streaming together, and then I didn't see, and then I don't know what happened after, but then, like, I think at one point, like, yeah, you were here all the time, and but it's good. It's good. I'm really happy at what you got going on in life. So that's like, I'm very excited when people just enter like new epochs of their life, new stages of their life, and just where things just, you know, and things just look bright, like there's nowhere to go but up. Like there's nothing that can really bring you down at this point, where you've lived through it, you've survived through it. There's just that level of experience, and like in not just trading but just life experience, where like, oh yeah, you know what the fuck I just went through? Bring it on. Like, yeah, oh man. So I love these stages of life, and I'm really excited when people enter them. And God bless you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and your family, and I wish you nothing but the best, man. You're gonna be a great dad. Fucking awesome dad. You know how I know? Just look at some of these people's other dads. Like some of these, you know, you're gonna be a fucking great dad, bro. You got this. But yeah, I appreciate the 50. Nice Christmas gift. Some of you guys in India are like, damn, that's my annual salary. Get better at trading. Keep showing up. Zoom gang, I will see you tomorrow in New York session. Mods, thank you so much for helping me run the stream. Daniel, appreciate you for showing up and showing love. It means a lot. Anybody that shows up, gives value, you know, and credence to what I do, listens to me and shows love. That's just, man, I welcome that with open arms. Signal channel. If I see something, obviously I'll call it in the signal channel. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Chat. Love and wisdom to you all. And as for me, my time here is up.
Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
And just like that, another Asian session is in the... Thank you, gang, for joining me. Thank you for being here on Christmas Day. It means a lot. I know you got families, I got family, but we're putting the work in. Nothing changes but the date on the calendar, right? Page on the calendar. We continue to grind, and tomorrow to end the week, but we're going to be in full swing of things, right? So bring your A game, bring your accounts, and bring your full mental clarity still intact for the session. Later.
Wow, I feel good.